let's dive into this. 4 downs. First down is this. We're going to talk some basketball transfers as Rick Barnes is not ready to retire. He is super active in the transfer portal now as he tries to rebuild Tennessee's roster for the 3rd straight year. He did it 2 years ago with Dalton Knecht, did it last year with Chaz Lanier, Darlington Dubar, Igor Milic, and he's trying to do so again.
He's already done it this year so far with Jacoby Gillespie and Jalen Carey.
That's right. Tell us about those 2 guys before we get to the 4 prospects that are in the transfer portal zone.
Jacoby Gillespie is a highly touted point guard who transferred from Maryland, averaged double figures, a very elite point guard, helped Maryland get to the Sweet 16. He could immediately replace Zakai Ziegler. Jalen Carey is another post player for Tennessee who could be valuable. Tennessee now can go 4 deep in the post with Cade Phillips, JP Estrella, Felix Opera, and Jalen Carey. They now have their point guard in Jacoby Gillespie, and then they also have Bishop Boswell returning. So basically the transfer portal now, their focus is, and they have probably a backup point guard now in Troy Henderson because an unrated point guard as a freshman just feels like another Zakai Ziegler to me. So their focus now needs to be, they need more 2 and 3 guards. They need more wings and more scoring guards. And that's where they need to go.
Let's get to the cats that they're looking at now. Before I get to that, do you think this is a situation where they find one slam dunk, no pun intended, at Dalton Knecht, or is this a group effort like they did last year?
I think it's a group effort, even more so than it was last year, because Chaz Lanier still was somewhat of a slam dunk, just not a Dalton Knecht slam dunk.
If Knecht was a 9 on the college basketball scale, Lanier was at least a 7.5.
I think Knecht was a 10. I mean, Dalton Knecht was a...
I mean, he's second. Yeah, you're right. He's second. He finished second in...
National Player of the Year.
The UPS store, Hardin Valley, helping individuals and small businesses, wide range of products and services, locally owned and operated. The link right down below. Here we go. 4 downs now.
Come on, guys, it's game time.
4 downs. Can you count? 4 downs. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Dave Hooker Show with Caleb Calhoun. Represented by T. Scott Jones. BanksandJones.com. Tennessee's trial attorney. From the Ted Russell Ford Lincoln Studio, East Tennessee's #1 volume and customer service dealer. Ted Russell Ford and TedRussellLincoln.net. Now to the Dave Hooker Show on Off the Hook Sports.
All righty, first down. Who is the young man on first down? The most important down in football.
Yes, the most important down on football and the most important player the Vols should be targeting. Rodney Rice, the other Maryland transfer. He's teammates with Jacoby Gillespie, so he's a very gettable prospect. He's 6'4", 198. Last year, he shot 37.5% from 3, averaged 13.8 points per game, 81.4% from the free throw line. If Tennessee got him, Dave, they'd pluck him in at shooting guard to replace Chaz Lanier immediately, and Gillespie and him having played together for a year, just a perfect fit. He'd be a junior. I think this is a no-brainer. You do whatever you can to get him. He's visiting Tennessee this week. Tennessee's in his top 6, so they have a very, very good chance to land him.
I also think it's pretty cool he's related to Glenn Rice.
Is he? I don't even know.
I don't know. That's true. All right, second down, Caleb, what do you got? He was a great shooter, too, though, for the Heat.
He was. And wasn't he for the Lakers, too, for a minute? I think he actually was part of the Lakers' first title team with Shaq and Kobe. But,
yep. I can see that.
Yeah. All right. So second down, Elijah Freeman. Now, this is a Rick Barnes player that you go for that, you know, pluck the guy out of nowhere to become a star for your team like Chaz Lanier and Dalton Knecht. But Dave, he's taking it another level with Elijah Freeman. Chaz Lanier and Dalton Knecht, he takes a lower level player and brings him to his level, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this case, he's taking a Division II player. He's like, let me try the Division II route. And Elijah Freeman, the Division II route, plays for Lincoln Memorial. I think their nickname, it was funny, Dave, I just have to bring this up real quick. Lincoln Memorial's nickname is the Rail Splitters. So the Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters. Elijah Freeman, though, would be an amazing pickup for them. He'd be a wing. He'd be a small forward, which they need. He was a McDonald's All-American nominee coming out. He's a freshman, but as a freshman last year, or was a freshman, he'd be a sophomore this year. Even though it was at the Division II level, averaged 19 points, 9 rebounds, and here, get ready for this, shot 46.3% from 3.
Yeah,
46.3. Tennessee needs him more than anybody else. He's the second most important player. He's 6'8", so he'd be, again, they'd plug him in on the wing. They don't have any wings right now. They could just plug him right in on the wing, and he's visiting Tennessee this week too.
Again, record number of concurrent viewers, so please hit that thumbs up button. Know that we greatly appreciate you weekdays at 10 a.m. Coop?
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
Thanks, Coop.
Tennessee Center, Cooper Mays here. Third down.
All right, third down is this. It is a young man named Rakis Passmore. Is he a big assist guy?
No, he's a combo guard.
Yeah, his last name's Passmore, so I thought.
This is much more of a risk. He is a 4-star combo guard in the transfer portal. He was a freshman for Kansas this past year, was 6'5". He's 6'5", 185 pounds. He only played 5 minutes a game. But he's a guy you go for potential, but you need a scoring guard. Go for the potential. And if someone's going to get your potential out of you and you buy in, Rick Barnes is that guy, right?
Yep, I would agree with that. Coop?
All SEC Center, Cooper Mays here. Fourth down.
All right, Ian Jackson. No relation to Michael or Jermaine?
No relation to either. Ian Jackson was a freshman at North Carolina.
Who was the fat one?
I don't know. I wasn't a Jackson.
You don't remember the fat Jackson?
No, I don't remember the fat
Jackson.
I don't.
I think was it Tito? I think it might have been Tito. All right, who's fourth down? Ian
Jackson, 6'4", 190. He was a freshman this past year. He is a 5-star in the portal, played for the North Carolina Tar Heels, was averaging 11.9 points per game, shot a pretty impressive 39.5% from 3, Dave, off the bench. And so he's an elite shooter. Again, a guy they could plug in at the 2 guard immediately to be an impact player. He's last on this list because I think Tennessee, even though they're targeting him, he's the least likely one to end up at Tennessee, because it sounds like St. John's and NC State are his top 2 options at this point. But again, so if my money is on anything, Tennessee's going to land Rodney Rice and Elijah Freeman. That will get them to roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 deep on next year's roster. The problem is they'd only be 4 deep among their 3 backcourt players, so they'd really have some work to do there. But that's a good situation. So I got Freeman and Rice probably going to Tennessee.
I was going to make fun of Tito a little bit, but he passed away last year, so I'm going to pass. Adam says, what about Janet Jackson? What was the name of her character on Good Times? Do you remember that, Caleb?
No, I don't remember. That's way before my time.
Oh, I remember that. I remember when the guy died. It was like one of the saddest movie moments ever. The dad died because the actor couldn't come to negotiate. It's like a Nico thing. He did a Nico, and he couldn't come to terms on his contract, so they just killed him. Just killed his character.
Wow, that's actually kind of really funny.
Basically, what Josh Heupel did. All right, so am I moving on here, Caleb?
Pretty much. Tennessee officially did sign Troy Henderson today. So my prediction is that I want to know where you land, but like, I got Jacoby Gillespie starting at point guard, Troy Henderson as the backup. I've got Rodney Rice coming in at the shooting guard, Bishop Boswell as the backup. And then I've got Elijah Freeman coming in on the wing. I don't think there'll be a backup there. They'll just have to work in Bishop Boswell or Troy Henderson or somebody like that. And then the post is Jalen Carey and Cade Phillips at the 4 and Felix Opera at the 5 with JP Estrella.
Yep. And it was Penny. Penny was her name on Good Times. I think you've got some homework to do. You've got to catch up to, our viewers are a little bit older than you, so we're going to have to get you up to speed in the pop culture round.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Look at Josh. Josh says, I'm 34 and I know Good Times.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know Good Times. My knowledge of Poetic Justice is not the movie with Tupac and Janet Jackson. It's the song with Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Okay. So I'm watching Lane Kiffin on Theo Vaughn, which is odd, last night. And Theo Vaughn just randomly asked people what they think of Michael Landon. Do you remember Michael Landon? Little House on the Prairie?
No.
Yeah. So he just randomly asked Lane what he thinks of Michael Landon. He did the same thing with several comedians. It's very bizarre.